Good morning, girls. Today our maths lesson is based on half. The word half is H-A-L-F, and this is half. And I will teach you a little later how we're going to write that. But before we start, the first thing you're going to be doing this morning is you're going to do your oral counting. You're going to count forward and backwards in threes from 36 and then extend as far as you can count up to 66 with a counting chart. You all have your counting chart in your reference book, so make use of it. Use your fingers and count on forward and backward. Try your best, because next week you're going to have to use, you're going to have to count without your counting books. And then you're going to go on to your word problem, which says Unarini had 26 pet fish. She gave 6 of her fish to her friend Azande. How many pet fish does Unarini have left? Do not forget that you need to do it in 2 steps. In step 1, you can either draw for it or write your sum, and in step 2, you got to answer the question, how many pet fish does Unarini have left? Today's lesson, as I said, is that you're going to be learning about the number half. And it says girls are to cut up or draw fruit, vegetable, using paper shapes or anything that you can find at home to learn half of a whole. These need to be cut up into halves to understand the concept of half. Place them apart in 2 halves and then put them together to see that 2 halves make 1 whole, so that half plus half is equal to 1. So today I'm going to show you how to do it first with paper. So you can take any piece of paper. Most of you have these at home, and I'm going to teach you how to make a square today. If you take a piece of paper, get to the corner and touch them on the sides and press it down like this. You will see that you have a line here, and if you cut on this line, we're going to make a square. Did you all know that half is a fraction? Yes, you're going to be learning about fractions in term 3. So now we have a square, and if I have to cut up the square into half, I'm going to cut on this line. And now I have 2 pieces. Half and half put together will give you 1 whole. So we say half plus half is equal to 1. Do you see that, girls? And it's perfect. If you put them together, they must be the same size. So I said that cutting up or drawing them must be perfectly equal. That is what I meant, but they have to be perfectly equal. You can't have one smaller than the other. That is not going to be called half. So I'm going to show you how to do a rectangle. So we have a rectangle here, 4 sides, 2 long sides, and 2 short sides equals a rectangle. So you can decide to cut it this way, or you can cut it this way to make it into 2 halves. So firstly, you must make sure that you get your corners all touching perfectly. And now you have 2 sides. So if you look at this here, we get a half on this side and a half on this side. So I'm going to show you how to cut it up, so you can see that it's perfectly 2 halves.
Thanks, Mr.
So if you look at this, girls, we have half and half put together gives you 1 whole. So we did say they have to be perfect, so let's check. Are they perfect? Yes, they're perfectly the same size. If it's not the same size, then you can't call them halves. And like we said, half plus half is equal to 1. And then now I'm going to show you the last one, which is a triangle. How many of you know how to cut up a triangle? Okay, if you don't, I'm going to show you. Once again, you get to the corner and you run your paper. Make sure that it's perfect on the side. Have you noticed I have a square and I'm cutting the squares into 2 triangles like I did before? And now I'm going to just use 1 triangle. So if I need to make 2 halves here, I fold them in the corners again and make sure that the lines are perfect. Yay, I have 2 pieces, half and half makes 1 whole. Are they perfect? Let's check. Yes, they are perfect. But if yours is slightly off, it's okay as long as you understand that half and half is equal to 1. Now I'm going to show you if I take this one, I can make a mistake, because some of you might want to do it in another way and it doesn't work. So I'm going to show you how you can make a mistake. If you like, just cut it across like this. And you didn't measure it. I've got 2 pieces, but if I put them together, can you see that they're not equal? They both don't look equal. Although when I put them here, they will make 1 whole. Can you see that this looks different from this? So these cannot be half plus half. So this is incorrect. So I showed you the incorrect one. What's nice, girls? I am back. In grade 1, you all did a fruit salad. I remember you going to the LFC and you made a fruit salad and your teachers were teaching you the half and you cut out. So if you have fruit at home, you can use your fruit to learn half plus half, and then you can eat it or make a fruit salad. So here I have an orange and I have a very sharp knife. So get your parents to help you. Do not use it on your own if you're not comfortable, because you might cut yourself. So if I had to cut this orange in half, can you see? Half plus half put together gives you 1. So we always say half plus half is equal to 1 whole. And if you look carefully, are they perfect? Almost perfect. So that's half plus half is equal to 1. So I managed to cut my orange, and I can also cut my fruit, apple. I have an apple here. Let's try. Are they equal? Yes. Half plus half put together gives you 1. So we are learning that half is a fraction and half plus half is equal to 1 whole. Let's go through this today. Okay, so it says divide an apple into 2 equal parts, and that's what we did. So we had half plus half and it equals 1 whole. And today I learned that 1 particle of 2, this is how you read half. 1 particle of 2. And then the 1 particle plus the 1 particle will give you 2. So the top 1 plus 1 will give you the 2, and over 2, when you have 2 and 2 together, that is equal to 1. So we say 1 particle plus 1 particle is equal to 2. When you have 2 over 2, that is equal to 1, because we took our 2 halves and put them together, and now we have 1. Now let's look at this. It says 1 equal part of an apple is called 1 half. 1 half plus 1 half is equal to 1 whole. And this is how you write half. 1 over 2. 1 over 2. This is called a number. It's a fraction actually. It's called a fraction. So that's a fraction. So half plus half is equal to 1. It says color 1 part of 2 parts. So we need to go here and we color 1 part of 2 parts. So we need to color this. Please color neatly, girls, and you're allowed to use different colors for each shape. Sorry girls, Mrs. Knack is making a bit of a boo-boo with her coloring because it's the smart board. But I'm sure you understand. So we've colored one part of two parts, and we call that half. So I've colored half. Now today you also have to do the 1/3, which means you can cut up your shapes and you can cut up your fruit into 1/3. You can also cut them into fours. When you cut them into fours, you call them quarters. For the girls who do not have fruit at home to cut up or paper, you can just take a plain piece of paper and draw a shape. To the best of your ability, you draw a circle, and I'm going to first cut it in half.
Your shadow.
So we have half and half. So this half and this half is equal to 1. That's the one whole. Now we take the same shape and we need to cut it into thirds. So thirds is a bit hard, so you've got to play a bit of your guessing game and you do it like this.
Upside down line.
Oh yes, it's an upside down Y. Thank you, Mrs. Willemse. Upside down Y will give you 3 parts. It's near perfect because I'm using my free hand to draw, and you can try. So this is 1/3, this is 1/3, and this is 1/3. Who knows why we call it thirds? Yes, you're right, because there are 3 parts. So 1 part, 2 parts, and 3 parts. So therefore we call this thirds. And now I'm going to show you the last one, which is the same shape. Sorry, girl. And then I'm going to cut it into 4 equal parts. When I cut that into 4 equal parts, I'm going to have the bottom number is 4, because you cut it into 4 equal parts, and this is 1 of the 4 parts. So that becomes a quarter. And again, the bottom number is 4 because we have 4 parts here, and the top is 1 of the 4 parts. And the same here, 1 of the 4 parts and 1 of the 4 parts. When we have 4 equal parts, it's called quarters. So that word is quarters. So we have 1 quarter here. Now if I had to color 1 2/3, I'm going to have to color this and this one. So I have colored 2/3, 1/3, and 2/3. So when you say 2, you say thirds. And when you say 1, it's 1/3 without the S. Now if I need to color 1 quarter, you just go to 1 piece and you color 1 quarter. And girls, if you say 1/4, it's also correct. So today you're going to be learning about fractions. It's your first lesson on fractions, and then we're going to be learning about fractions of numbers later. But if you feel that you can try and work on fractions of numbers, go ahead and practice at home. But for today, you're going to do a lot of practical work with just cutting up things to understand different sizes of fractions. You can go up to 1/5, cut up something into fifths, and it's infinity. You can go to 1/100th as well. So practice learning how to cut up your shapes, your numbers, sorry, not your numbers. You cut up shapes and your fruit, and if you do not have them, you can actually draw and cut up on your page. Have a lovely day practicing your cutting up of your fractions, and let's hope that you understand it. Thank you, girls, and have a lovely day. You can. You must cut immediately because we make funny faces.
We made a funny face.
I know. Gosh. I realized.
It's not stopping.